After a rear-end collision with my lifelong enemy, I woke up with no memory at all. Just as panic was clawing at my chest, the head who was changing my dressing soothed me. Don't be scared. Your boyfriend will be here any minute. He even signed the consent for your surgery. Following the line of her finger, I finally saw my boyfriend. The moment Adrian walked toward me, I hurled myself at him. "Wha, hubby, where'd you go?" I was so scared all alone. Adrian froze, disbelief stamped across his handsome face. "Elena, say that again if you dare." Before we continue, please subscribe and tell us in the comments where you're listening. I hadn't expected the man had swore adored me to speak like that. I opened my eyes and couldn't remember a thing. "And you're not even here with me. You actually snapped at me." The injustice swelled inside me, fat tears rolled down in seconds. Head couldn't take it. She turned on Adrian. "Really, she has amnesia and zero sense of security. Can't you speak gently, boyfriend?" Ignoring her, Adrian gave me a sidelong glance and smiled coldly. "You honestly remember nothing?" I nodded hard, but the motion tugged the wound on my scalp. I hissed, then lifted my eyes pitifully. "Hubby, my head hurts." Adrian's smile didn't reach his eyes as he told Head, "Then please check my wife's wound for me." He bit out the word wife like it was glass, his stare glacial. I shrank back, tears spilling over. "Hubby, don't you love me anymore? Stop calling me that." His tone carried a warning. "Say it again and I'll throw you out." I swallowed the tears, feeling utterly wronged. Still, Adrian stepped in, holding my head steady while Head finished. After Head listed the discharge instructions, she left. Now only Adrian and I remained in the cavernous VIP suite. I lay obediently, stealing glances at him. And, fine, I had to admit he was gorgeous. Sharp brows, bright eyes, aloof and regal, exactly my type. Seen enough? The boyfriend I'd been ogling finally napped. I'd learned caution, I only shook my head gently. "I'm a little thirsty, could you bring the water closer?" With an annoyed click of his tongue he stood, poured a cup, and set it on the bedside table. I batted my lashes. "Can you hold it to my mouth?" "I can't reach." "Lazy little thing." Ice radiated from every pore of his body. Seeing no intention to feed me, my mouth drooped, tears on standby. He inhaled sharply, lifted the cup, and aimed the straw between my lips. "You're the best, hubby." Praise spilled out of me like coins, my memory of his earlier warning gone. Adrian stayed stoic, but a red flush crept up his ears. Satisfied, I sipped. My boyfriend was actually kind of cute. When the doctors cleared me, I left the hospital with nothing but myself and moved into Adrian's Riverdale penthouse. He gave me a pained look, then pointed to a side door. "You sleep there. Don't bother me." I stood at the threshold and peered in. The room was tiny, just a narrow twin bed. The mattress looked rock hard, I'd wake up aching. And it clearly wasn't the master suite, more like a cramped spare den. "Why can't I sleep with you? Aren't we dating?" I clutched his sleeve, feeling wronged. "Are we in a bad place?" "There's nothing of mine here." I scanned the minimalist decor, nothing like my taste. If I lived with him, I'd coat the penthouse in bubblegum pink. "Did we have a fight?" I ventured. Adrian studied me in prolonged silence. I tilted my head, waiting. Finally a mocking curve lifted his mouth. "Let me warn you, Elena, I don't fall for the cutesy act." I bristled. "What cutesy act?" "I only wanted us closer. Besides, I hadn't even whined." Clearly done arguing, he turned away. In desperation I wrapped my arms around his lean waist and buried my face against his chest, clinging like a koala. "You can't go, you haven't answered me." I tipped my head, his Adam's apple bobbed above me. After a breath I summoned courage, hooked his neck, and brushed a kiss across the corner of his mouth. He stiffened, hands suspended midair. Flustered, I hid in the crook of his neck. "Don't freeze me out. You're all I have left. Hubby, I like you." Even blank, my heart had flipped the instant I saw him. Biology doesn't lie. An exasperated sigh drifted down. "Like me? Then unblock my number." I retracted my hands, mortified, so we really had fought hard enough for me to block him. I whipped out my phone and restored his contact. Just as I aimed the screen to show him, the master suite door slammed, and locked. I clutched the phone, realizing how badly I'd hurt him. On the narrow bed I tossed all night. At last I messaged him a sleepless sticker. He ignored me, stone cold. Eventually I hugged my pillow and knocked on Adrian's door. The bed was too hard, my ribs protested. "Hubby, are you asleep?" I hadn't known I was this spoiled, but I couldn't take another minute. "What now?" The door swung open to his frosty face. "I just want to sleep with you, otherwise I can't." I bit my lip, eyes pleading. "No." His answer was steel. Please? That bed is rock hard, like sleeping on a slab. I barely closed my eyes. I let my voice wobble halfway between wronged and winsome. I swear I don't sprawl, I won't hog the covers, and I definitely won't grope you in the dark. Pretty please? Just this once. Adrian smothered the racket in his head and kneaded his temples. Just as I opened my mouth for another round, he shut the door wide and growled, "Get in, then." Permission granted, I hugged my pillow and scrambled onto his mattress. The master suite was bliss, plush king, liquid soft silk. I patted the empty half. Adrian, come cuddle. He stood at the footboard, arms folded, smirk cocked. Elena, are you sure you won't regret this when your memory returns? I flung the duvet back, wrapped my arms around him, and stole a kiss. What on earth was he muttering? A little modesty, maybe? You're still a girl. I want you to hold me while I sleep. Adrian's whole frame locked up, he all but printed out. What's coy about snuggling your own boyfriend? Sure, Adrian's temper stinks, but his lips are marshmallow soft. Delicious. In the end he didn't share the bed. He bolted to my old room and flipped the lock with a decisive click. I was swinging my heels on the dining chair, halfway through the breakfast spread, when Adrian's door finally cracked open. Panda Circles advertised how badly he'd slept. My heart pinched. Told you, brick bed. Sleep with me tonight, okay? I cooked breakfast. Eat before you head to Sterling. He flicked me a glance, frosty as ever. Stay home till your amnesia lifts. Text me if you need anything, I'll have it delivered. Chin and palm, I studied him. I want to bring you lunch. And pick you up after work. The sentence hit him like a rogue wave, he choked on his coffee. That's not a request, it's a declaration. I planted fists on hips. Out of the question. The refusal cracked like a whip. Real men don't say can't. He straightened his collar and turned away. He didn't answer, only shot me a look dense with meaning, then grabbed his jacket and left. Every day after that, I arrived at Sterling with a gourmet bento and watched him scrape the box clean from my seat opposite his glass desk, after which I claimed my hug and praise. At 5 sharp I'd wait by the lobby doors. The instant he stepped out I'd loop my arm through his. At first he fought it, threatening to have security toss you every time. I knew it was all bark, especially when his ears flamed crimson. Eventually he quit resisting. Even Lynn at reception became my buddy. Vance, you're incredible. First woman ever to breach the CEO perimeter. I blushed. Oh, it's nothing. I am his girlfriend, after all. But lately Adrian's been weird, out before dawn, back after midnight, reeking of alcohol each night. I was heading out for the usual pickup when a contact labeled Chloe Babe texted, Elena, you're awake, just heard about the crash. Are you okay? Stuck abroad, can't fly yet. Listen, huge deal about your fiancé. Fiancé? Did she mean Adrian? Scrolling our old chats and heart emojis, I knew it was my best friend. I spilled the whole amnesia saga. She FaceTimed immediately. You don't remember? It's me, Chloe. I shook my head, then pounced. So what about my fiancé? Short version, the pig cheated. My friend saw him tongue wrestling some chick in the mall. They're en route to a hotel right now. Girl's his brand new secretary. Hotel name coming, stand by. The facts barraged like hail while my fists twisted the hem of my sweater. Yesterday Lynn had gushed that Adrian hired a gorgeous new assistant. The pair are inseparable. Cheated. The word refused to stick to Adrian. Chloe rambled on, stay calm, don't storm in. I'm booking the next flight, we'll roast the bastard together. The muffled airport announcement in her background warmed me, until her line clicked off and Adrian's text slid in, don't come tonight. Business dinner. My heart gave a sluggish thud. Nail crescents bit my palms as I typed OK. Seconds later Chloe pinged, Qingyun Hotel, room 2208. The cab ride blurred. I chewed my lip raw, sleeves wrinkled beyond saving. Maybe a mistake, maybe not him. One glimpse, just to be sure. I staggered down the corridor and out of the elevator in time to see a black suit, the one I'd picked this morning, slide a keycard, phone to ear. No girlfriend, quit guessing, the familiar cold voice declared before the door thudded shut. I don't remember the trip back to Riverdale. I burrowed under the duvet and cried mute, endless tears. I woke past noon, eyes ballooned into walnuts. Finally pulling myself together, I sit on the bed and switch on my phone. Adrian has actually broken routine and bombarded me with messages. Did something hold you up? You didn't have to go overboard, I'm not picky. A moment later he adds, truth is, I'm not in a rush. Lynn just asked why you hadn't arrived, she has a gift for you. Lynn is their receptionist. And we're tight. Another minute ticks by before he texts again. Did you run into trouble on the road? Below that, a column of missed call alerts. I blank at the screen for a beat. Only then do I remember I overslept and never delivered today's lunch to Adrian. The words he flung at me last night replay in my head. My heart jams, a dull ache spreading outward. His sentence had sliced my love clean in two. I power the phone off and block him on the spot. Didn't he hire a shiny new female secretary? Why chase after me? Luckily Chloe lands the same day. I message her, she drives over to pick me up. When I moved in I brought only one suitcase. Leaving solo is just as simple. I have zero clue that Adrian is turning the city upside down looking for me. I drown in breakup misery, sobbing into Chloe's shoulder. She strokes my back and coaxes me, don't fall apart, Elena. Tomorrow I'll round up his and we'll avenge you. I'll pin that two-timing jerk's head while you slap him into a pig's face. Her plan drags a wet laugh out of me. Chloe pinches my cheek. Smile more, you're gorgeous when you do. You're just too soft. I curl against her, silent. Chloe answers a call. Then she beams. Ready for good news? Hit me. She's grinning ear to ear. Your nemesis's girlfriend dumped him, ha ha ha, now he's combing the city for her. I copy her grin like a mirror, ha 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 ha. I still don't know the girl everyone's hunting is me. Chloe claims I've ghosted the social circuit since the amnesia. Tonight she dolls me up for a re-debut. I trail her into the executive suite. Chloe mutters under her breath, thought this was friends only, who invited him? Curious, I whisper, who? She waves a hand. The guy hunting his wife all over town. My so-called mortal enemy. I'm intrigued. I see myself as harmless. How badly must this person have hurt me for Chloe to stomp in fury? I perch quietly beside Chloe. Unfamiliar faces greet me. She parades me through introductions until faces blur. The door swings open. That familiar profile storms my world again. The instant Adrian steps in, the suite falls mute. Chloe squeezes my hand. Relax, I've got you. I gape at her. My sworn enemy is Adrian? But isn't he my cheating fiancé? She nods. Yup. She opens our old chat logs on her phone, daily rants about Adrian. My reality flips. I've spent weeks mistaking my rival for my boyfriend, all cuddles included. The realization shoots me to my feet. I down several shots to numb the chaos. To save the vibe, a smooth socialite jumps up, long time, Adrian. Kick back and enjoy. Same circles, after all, no profit in burnt bridges. Adrian answers with a curt He plants himself directly opposite me, legs wide, dominant. I swivel away, striking conversation with the guy beside me. No imagination needed, Adrian's gaze never leaves my face. Someone proposes truth or dare. The bottle spins and points dead on at Adrian. A provocateur pounces, truth or dare, Sterling? Truth. He plucks a card, how many times have you been dumped? Face calm, he says, once. Gasps ripple. A brave soul presses, who on earth was the woman? Adrian's stare blankets me. I tug at my skirt, turning to Chloe. That's question 2, his cool voice slices the chatter. Fair, game on. The bottle whirs again, landing on Adrian. Twice in a row. Choice? Dare this round. WhatsApp the person you miss most, I miss you. Adrian types fast. Why the red exclamation mark? And that bunny avatar looks familiar. My heart vaults, my profile pic is a bunny. But impossible, he's with his new secretary, right? Still, acid jealousy pools in my chest, thick and suffocating. He's supposed to be my enemy, why do I feel wronged? The game rolls, now the neck points at me. Chloe bounces. Truth or dare, Elena? I hesitate. Dare. She draws, unblock your latest blacklist victim and call them. I choke mid-breath. Chloe pats my back. Easy, girl. I clutch the phone, then drain a full glass. I fold. A chorus of good-natured booing. G swept through the executive suite. After all, the last person I'd blocked was sitting directly across from me, Adrian. The light that had flared in his eyes died instantly. He stared straight at me, gaze so hot it felt capable of burning holes through my skin. I couldn't sit still. Pretending I was tipsy, I stood up to splash cold water on my face in the restroom. Having Adrian right across the table was suffocating. I hardly dared breathe. I'd just reached the doorway, following the signs, when a pair of large hands locked around my waist. You'd rather get drunk than pull me out of your block list, huh? Adrian's icy voice brushed my ear, sending tremors down my spine. He spun me around and trapped me against his chest. Momentum slammed my palms against the hard slabs of muscle beneath his shirt. I struggled instinctively. Adrian, let go. A cold smile curved his lips as restless fingers traced circles on my waist. Weren't you the one who said you liked me best? Weren't you the one who promised we'd stay together forever? You tease me until I'm burning up, then run off alone? I thrashed, but against his sheer strength I might as well have been a mayfly trying to topple a tree. He gripped my chin, forcing me to meet the blaze in his eyes. The fire there looked ready to reduce me to ash. His thumb kept stroking my lower lip, as though to brand me with his scent. Elena, why are you so cruel? My heart hammered against my ribs at the wildness rising in him. Calm down, Adrian, I pleaded, the words left my mouth soft and shaking. He held my chin fast, eyes locked on mine. The next second a storm of kisses crashed over me, clumsy, searing, relentless. My knees buckled, he clamped an arm around my waist, insisting I take every ounce of his fury. At last I bit his lip, hard. Pain flickered across his face, he stared, disbelieving. Stop lying to me, I choked out, tears spilling free. He froze, hand lifting to wipe the tears away. I jerked my head aside and laid the truth bare. You're not my boyfriend at all. We're sworn enemies. While he stood motionless, I slipped free and fled. The encounter left my heart skittering. Halfway down the stairwell a stranger clamped a hand around my arm and yanked me into the shadows. Fear closed over me like a net. I fought, but I was still nothing more than a mayfly against a boulder. Let me go, I screamed. The man only smirked and yanked me closer. Disappeared for ages just to make me jealous? Elena, if you want to play hard to get, I'm happy to play along. I had no idea who he was, I only knew I had to escape. When his arm slid around my shoulders, I sank my teeth into it. With a yelp he flung me away, yet instead of hitting the floor I landed against a solid chest. I looked up and saw the familiar sharp line of Adrian's jaw. I straightened at once and stepped aside, putting clear space between us. The small movement drew a scowl from Adrian. He started to reach for me, but the stranger's snarl cut him off. Well, Elena, no standards now? When did you hook up with Adrian? The man lunged for me. Adrian hauled me against him, blocking the grab. His arm around my waist tightened until I could feel the imprint of every finger. Irritated, I shoved at him, useless. Adrian's eyes iced over as he regarded the furious man. Preston, don't make me lose the little respect I have for you. The name thudded through my head, Preston, though I still couldn't attach it to a clear memory. Preston's laugh was brittle, rage glittering in his eyes. Respect? Who says I need yours? Have you no shame, Adrian? Poaching my fiancé? He stretched a hand toward me. Elena, come here right now and I'll forgive everything. Otherwise, Adrian pulled me closer. You're nobody. The temperature around us plummeted, I couldn't stop shivering. Preston's curses grew filthier by the second, each word a splinter of glass. Sheltered in Adrian's arms, battered by one shock after another, my vision blurred. Who were he's people? I remembered nothing. The world tilted, the last thing I saw was Adrian's face, cool composure cracking, raw worry leaking through. I woke in the same familiar hospital, but this time every memory snapped into place. My fiancé was Preston. Adrian was the lifelong rival I'd loathed. I'd crashed my car the night I learned Preston had cheated, determined to break off our merger engagement. I'd rear-ended Adrian's car, my head slammed into the headrest. Adrian rushed me to Riverdale, but the ER required a relative's signature and my parents were overseas. Unable to reach anyone, he'd posed as my boyfriend and signed the consent form. When I woke with amnesia, I naturally assumed Head's boyfriend story was true. Now that my memories were back, every mistake had to be undone. Adrian's concern overflowed, he leaned close. How do you feel? Any pain? I shook my head and slid away without a word. The small shift left his eyes shattered. Preston stood nearby, seeing me conscious, he cleared his throat. This time I'll overlook your stunt. Our engagement stands. When your parents return next month, we'll hold the wedding. A laugh burst out of me. How could the cheater be this brazen? Get out. I'll tell my parents myself, the engagement is over. Preston practically jumped at me. Elena, don't forget our families still have a deal on the table. I stared at him, ice cold. He actually had the nerve to bring that up? He didn't remember the partnership when he cheated, did he? I couldn't stomach another round with him, so I hit the call button and asked Head to throw him out. After Preston was gone, Adrian lifted my hand and pressed it gently to his cheek. Don't worry, Elena. I'll help you. This time I didn't pull away. If I wanted to kill the Grey partnership for good, I really did need Adrian's help. The words seemed to flood him with courage. He brushed a solemn kiss across my knuckles. I turned my face away so I wouldn't have to look at him. Adrian works fast, I have to give him that. That same afternoon the Greys called a press conference themselves. They announced the merger engagement between Preston and me was officially over. Watching that cage door swing open, I finally exhaled. The Greys had pitched the engagement in the first place because of joint ventures, and I hadn't minded much, so I'd said yes. Looking back, it was the dumbest decision I ever made. When Chloe breezed and she tapped my forehead, teasing, "Look at the mess you stirred up." Downstairs I ran into Adrian carrying the biggest bouquet of Casablanca lilies you've ever seen. I let out a long sigh. Actually, when we were kids Adrian and I weren't enemies at all. His parents traveled non-stop, so they'd park him at our house and ask mine to keep an eye on him. Little Adrian had been carved from ivory and rose quartz, adorable, but already steady as a rock. Back then I hero-worshipped the older boy who'd suddenly appeared in my life. Whatever he did or said, I copied without thinking. As we grew, his baby cheeks sharpened into the harsh, handsome planes they are now. The last traces of childhood melted away until only the man remained. Every teenage girl keeps secrets. While classmates rattled on about which boy they liked, the face that floated into my mind was always Adrian's, cool, remote, regal. That was when I understood, the person you think of first is the one you love. But because we'd practically been raised together, I buried the feeling for years. Every time he did something thoughtful, pink bubbles fizzed in my chest. I told myself that even if he didn't love me back, he couldn't possibly hate me. Then, one day, I trailed him without being noticed and overheard him talking to his asked, "You really don't feel anything for your childhood friend Elena?" Adrian answered, dead serious, "She's just a little sister to me." His pressed, "Then mind if I chase her? She's cute, especially when she smiles and those dimples show." Adrian's voice dropped to a freeze. "Shallow much? You like her without even knowing her?" His shrugged, "Didn't you say she's annoying, always tagging along? I'd be doing you a favor." I didn't stay to hear the rest. I never guessed I irritated him that much. I went home, burrowed under my quilt and cried the whole day. I burned every diary page that held his name. Whenever he came near afterward, I invented excuses to keep my distance. Little by little I locked that girlhood crush away. And when Adrian snatched several deals I was about to close, I finally declared war. The whole circle heard it loud and clear, Elena and Adrian were mortal enemies. When Adrian stepped into the VIP suite, Chloe made herself scarce. The lilies bloomed, creamy and fragrant, and something in my chest tightened. "Elena, stop running from me, okay?" He moved in so close I couldn't catch my breath. "What are you doing, Adrian?" I wasn't used to being caged by his arms. Cedar and winter air wrapped around me until his presence owned the room. He produced a small velvet box and placed it in my hand. Under his hopeful gaze I lifted the lid. Inside sat a diamond the size of a quail's egg. At my stunned expression he skimmed a knuckle across the bridge of my nose. "I know everything now, Elena. Just give me a chance to explain. I didn't know you'd come to the Sapphire that night. I wasn't with anyone. I rented the executive suite for a pitch. I pulled the security footage, you can watch it. I swear I was clean." His words stung my eyes. "Then why did you tell me on the phone you had no girlfriend?" He threaded our fingers together. "You had amnesia. I didn't want you choosing anything until you were really you. I regretted it the second I hung up. I can't lose you, Elena. I love you." He rested his chin on my shoulder, wet warmth seeped through my hospital gown. Adrian was crying. "Don't cry." I panicked, but tears spilled down my own cheeks. "But you were the one who said you hated me, that I was a clingy est. All the years of feeling unloved tumbled out. I'd thought time had sanded that love away, yet one tug from him proved it had only rooted deeper, until a forest grew inside my heart. "So, Elena, will you forgive me?" He kissed the tears from my face, eyes locked on mine, waiting for judgment. I looked at him, then turned my head away and muttered, "I will, but not today. I'm in a bad mood. Ask me again when I'm not." First love doesn't fade, it ferments. Only strangers can come from indifference. Love left unfinished turns into the fiercest kind of hate. I closed the box. "If you want this ring on my finger, you'll have to earn it." Cradling my face, he gave me a kiss so reverent it felt like prayer. "For you, Elena, I'd walk through fire."